Since we met you people 500 years ago, look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking. It's true. I mean, where would the whole Western world be without Africa? Our cocoa, our timber, our gold, our diamonds, our platinum, our whatever. Everything you are is us.
If you see me in the streets, better holler at me. Seeking for a beat, throw them dollars at me. I don't like defeat, take that away from me. You tryna be like me, you couldn't handle my story. But we gon' let you know, we gon' let you know. We gon' let you know, we gon' let you know.
500 years ago, look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking. It's true. I mean, where would the whole Western world be without Africa, our cocoa?
Nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is true. The Western world is nothing without Africa. Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to yet another episode of Mr. J's Reaction. Oh, this is your first time coming through. They call me Jay. I'm a motherlandian living out in the diaspora, and I've been dropping vlogs relating to issues that plague my continent, Africa. Yes, I'm a son of the soil, son of the continent. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the past couple of days, I've been dropping reaction on the recent occurrences, especially the coups and the double standard nature in which the West deals with Africa. And last night I was thinking, after I got into a conversation with a couple of you guys, and I was thinking maybe it's time to go back and check out some of our scholars who have actually pointed out what we are trying to do today. See, what I'm doing on my platform is nothing new. A whole lot of African citizens have been doing it around the world, and even scholars, but some of them went unnoticed. So I was like, you know what, I will take it upon myself to react on that today. So yes, we are going to start today's reaction. We are going to look at a great scholar from Ghana, man. To say my people from Ghana, it's all love, man. Her name was AmaAtaAidoo, man. This lady, there's an interview that she gave, which that is where we are going to start. But before we do, if you're not done it, please do not forget to hit that like button. And please, for $0, man, you can literally be part of my channel. I mean, please do subscribe so that we can be able to push this channel forward. Now, let's not talk too much. Let me back it up and let's analyze and see how apt she was.
Since we met you people 500 years ago, look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking. It's true. I mean, where would the whole Western world be without Africa? Our cocoa, our timber, our gold, our diamonds, our platinum, our whatever.
Let me just add our uranium, our bauxite, our iron ore, man, it's a whole lot. Where would you guys be without Africa? Where would the Western world be without Africa? Africans build the Western economies that you brag about today, some of your politicians. Let me just say this, when I talk about Westerns, man, when I talk about the evil nature of Europeans, I'm not talking about every European. Your leaders are just the ones that are making the whole world look at you guys differently. I mean, let's come back to what Auntie is saying, man. This Auntie was so woke. This Auntie was so smart. She is a boy. I mean, she has a whole lot of books. You feel me? She has written a whole lot of books. I know, man, it's crazy. I mean, but let's talk about this context of the West always coming into Africa, taking and never giving back. My problem is this: when you take, give back. I mean, let's go.
Our diamonds, our platinum, our whatever, everything you are is us.
True.
I am not saying it, it's a fact. And in return for all of this, what have we got?
Nothing. Nothing. In return of all the kindness that Africa has been to the Western world, we get nothing. It's like you guys just keep thinking that exploitation, that imperialistic mindset was going to go on forever. Like, you take. Please do do something to at least let the people on grounds know that, you know, you are taking for a good cause. Help build infrastructures, help build good governance, help set up institutions that would help us get to your level. You feel me? There's a whole lot, you know, we can take from aunties. Let's go, man.
Nothing. Anti-personnel indoctrination against ourselves. If you go and cook your horrible diseases like AIDS, you say it is us. You brought us tuberculosis. We didn't have this big cough until white people came here. In exchange for Africa giving Europe 500 solid years of our people, I mean not Europe, the Western world, of our human beings.
I like the way she said the Western world, because when people talk about the Europe, most people think that Africans are only upset with the Europeans, but we do know that when you look at the Western world, some of your cousins are part of the other part of the world. I mean, I'm talking about Europeans. You know, Europeans immigrated from Europe to the Americas. You go around the world, you will see European DNA. So yes, she is really being honest. See, there were a whole lot of civilizations around the world where people lived harmoniously without diseases, and diseases started coming about like chicken pox, syphilis, tuberculosis, when the white came in contact with these civilizations. I can quote that of the Incas in Peru. I was in Cusco, Peru, and I did a crash course on a whole lot of, you know, things that happened back in the days 500 years ago. This is the same thing she is talking about.
To work your canes, to dig your gold, to take in gold itself, diamond, I mean, you know, fish, peanuts, palm oil, everything.
True.
In exchange for that, we have got nothing. Nothing.
Why? Why do you take and you don't at least please the people on ground? Why? Because ladies and gentlemen, most of you people have been commenting and been sending me messages, DMing me, and the constant theme that I keep getting is like, you guys think that when I do my reaction, I'm generalizing. I don't generalize, but I do understand that DNA doesn't change. You feel me? A lion will always be a lion. You feel me? So your ancestors were that way. Fast forward, we have people like Joseph Borrell today. It's crazy, man. Let's not, you know.
And you know it. Nothing. And you look upon, you know, white folks look upon us like monkeys. It is true. It's in your literature. Hey, you know, some of your best thinkers have said this about us. Have you heard of all these Germans?
Your best thinkers? I wonder why you guys call them best thinkers if all they did was trying to prove how superior your race are. Yes, I don't know why they would term somebody a best thinker if practically everything they propagated was racist. Why are they best thinkers? That is normalizing it so that your grandchildren, the next generation, can learn and duplicate what your best thinkers did. Man, that's why racism is not going to stop, unfortunately.
Have you heard? Yes, they said Lord Burton, people like that, they said we don't even have the brain of animals. That's what we've got from you people.
That's what they think.
I don't you think that this is over now?
That's what they think. That, you know, Africans are going to be like dormant forever. Of course, France is finding out the wrong way. You feel me? And then it's shaking up the Western world. You guys thought that these people you termed as, you know, they don't have the brains of animals, and some of you guys still, some of your leaders still think that way. Are we going to talk about Trump, who said, you know, the H word about third world countries? We are not going to dwell on that. But this is true. Once again, why do you guys call these people your best thinkers? If that, you know.
Over where? Is it over? Who said that AIDS came from the green monkey? Is it over? Is it over?
It's not.
Well, if this is your impression, do you think that you can ever forgive us?
Forgive you guys? Now, this interview was done decades ago, long time ago, and she's speaking these things. Fast forward to today, we are still living the same thing. It's not changed. That's why I said DNA doesn't change. You feel me? If your great-great-grandparents were racist, their DNA is flowing to your veins. You have those racist tendencies, and it's just a matter of time for you to come out and say it.
It's not a question of forgiveness. I have nothing against you. My point is that you did and you are doing for your survival what is necessary. We can't blame you for that.
True.
The fact that we didn't do enough for our own survival, and we are still not doing enough for our survival.
True. We don't lay blames. We don't lay blames. What we are asking today is it's time for Africa to fight for its own survival. So why is it a problem with the Western world, especially France? Why is it the problem with the European Commission, the European Union? Why are your politicians supporting France and the whole, why? Because you know that if we fight for our survival, we are going to make you guys look like a beat down garden.
That is not your problem. Even everybody that God has created has a sense of survival. And until if we don't develop it, we can't blame white people. You came here because you needed these things.
True.
You took gunpowder from the Chinese. You needed them.
Did you know that the gunpowder, they got it from Asia, Chinese? Yes, and like what she's saying, man, everybody is born with these tendency to survive. Anthropology says that, man, conclaves and little ethnicities have strived throughout history to survive, and every human being today, all they want to do is survive, especially those from Africa. You see these refugees moving and taking the highway. Some of them died trying to get to greener pastures. They just want to survive. They just want to be able to send money to their family to survive. That is the essence. You feel me?
To shoot people. I think that for me and members of my family, Elmina Castle has got a very, very special significance because they tortured my father's father,
your
grandfather to death.
Elmina Castle, that was where slaves were brought from all part of Africa and then shipped out by the Portuguese. Let's not forget, the Portuguese were terrible people when it comes to slavery and the slave trade in Africa. And if you go through the history, the first contacts with Western people, Western powers around Africa were with the Portuguese explorers. But that doesn't mean that they were not back, because royal families back in the days gave these people money to explore. You feel me? And her grandfather was actually, this touches home, man.
Dead by the colonial government. So for me, when people like me talk about colonization, neo-colonization, it's not just because one is being intellectually smart.
True.
We have personal touches with it. I cannot forget it.
True. It's different, man. She was in a position of, speaking because her grandfather went through that stuff. It's a whole different ball game when you see it firsthand, like close to home. You feel me?
That this happened to my grandfather.
Do you consider aid as a new form of colonization?
Of course.
Let her break it down, but it is a new form of colonization. Let's get into it.
But that's why, my people, the Akans, we have a proverb.
Lay it on her.
It says that good morning, thank you is never enough to salt anybody's food forever.
Good morning and thank you is never enough to salt somebody's food forever. So the fact that you say good morning, you're polite, and the fact that you say thank you doesn't mean that you can eat my food forever. This proverb can apply to the Brazilian society today. They are the best form of people you will meet. But they could be racist to you and xenophobic to you, smiling, and they think that is okay. Let's get into it.
You cannot build your life on thank you, mommy, thank you, English, thank you, which is what aid makes, we are always receiving. Nobody, look, and I don't care who hears, nobody anywhere in this world is going to send you their best of anything.
Mommy says she doesn't care who hears, because apparently back during her time, she knew that, they could cancel her. Cancel culture goes way back. So, man, she's being honest.
Do you see? Neither the experts nor people, you give us what you can afford.
True.
Aid is the leftover, really, and it cannot be enough. But aid, you can, when, the world is, now the world is one place. So, there is nothing wrong if my house is in a crisis and you offered me something. There's nothing wrong.
Aid is keeping countries in debt. Aid has made Africa poor. Aid, coupled with the structural adjustment program. We are going to come to the structural adjustment program somewhere down the road. These aids have destroyed the societies in the continent of Africa. You feel me? Because when you give, it comes with strings attached. What you can do, what you cannot do, what you need to do, what you have to do. You feel me? This is crazy. And she's breaking it down.
Because there is interrelationship. But a whole nation, a whole continent cannot live forever on aid.
True.
And I think we are in Africa, we are in danger of making foreign aid a kind of policy.
It's already a policy. Mommy, I know that may your soul rest in peace. She said this decades ago. And some of these puppets in place, they have made foreign aid a policy. They must go for aid. They must go around begging for aid. And just like Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the military leader in Burkina Faso, said when he met at the African-Russian summit, African leaders and puppets go around begging for aid instead of mobilizing their resources, like President of Eritrea said. And we're going to drop a reaction on that speech too from the President of Eritrea. He said you need to learn how African leaders need to learn how to mobilize their resources to give a better life to their citizens. It's crazy, man. And Mommy said it decades ago.
That is wrong. I think that it humiliates our people.
It does.
The people in the villages have not asked anybody to go around begging on their behalf.
True. The people in the villages have not asked any person to go around begging on their behalf, because some of these leaders, in order to beg and solicit aid from foreign organizations and governments, they go about trying to lie. They cook up stories. We need to build hospitals for this community. We need to build roads for this community, schools for this community. And a white person being the way he is, like, okay, let me give. They give those aids, but they're going to give it with conditions. Okay, 9% interest rate. You have to legalize certain things that, and that's how you indebt our people. But if you go to these communities, nobody asks them to go back. Reality, man. Some of our books, The Dilemma of a Ghost.
7 polemiske bøger er det blevet til. Det er skuespil,
No Sweetness Here,
digte og fortællinger for børn. Alt skrevet på engelsk, som falder AmaAtaAidoo lettest. Bøgerne er båret af en ægte indignation mod hvert magtmisbrug hos kolonisterne, men ikke mindst hos hendes egne.
The Eagle and the Chickens. Well, that's in German. Okay, it's just talking about some of Mommy's work. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to stop here, but let me just say this. Mommy said these things decades ago, and if you go through and understand this is what we are still facing today. Let me paraphrase what Mom is trying to say. Our contact with the Western world has never been for our benefits. They left, but they put their puppets in place and they pull in the strings from afar. They give aids to people, as in aid, financial help, but they pull strings to it. So they are still pulling the strings from afar. Leave your comment and let me know exactly what you think about this great scholar. But I gotta say, man, she passed this year, man. We gotta celebrate women like this. We gotta celebrate scholars like this, man. We have a whole lot, and if you know some of these, send them to Mr. J, and we're gonna try to break it, and we bring it to our people. Do not forget, I hope you did, give us that thumbs up and like and share. I love you guys, and we gonna make it. Africa is rising. Peace.